Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to this next lesson. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to be taking a look at a cool little hybrid picking kind of concept idea, just using box 1 of the minor pentatonic, which I'm sure most of you guys know. And I got this idea from the great Guthrie Govan. I think the name of the video that I saw this in is like Guthrie Govan Favorite Licks lesson, I think is the name of it. He's playing like a blue kind of Sir Strat in it, and I think it's the third lick that he plays. So I kind of got the concept from him and then changed it around slightly, and then just moved it down to, you know, box 1 of the minor pentatonic, and just to kind of see what I could do with it. And I thought it sounded really cool. Obviously you heard me play it at the beginning of the video. So the idea is basically pick note, hammer, 2 hybrid picks, and then another hammer, and you just move it through the scale shape. So again, this is just going to be, we're just going to be in A minor. So just with box 1, I'm sure most of you guys, like I said, know this, but just in case, we'll run through it really quick. Pointer is going to take all the notes on fret 5, ring all the notes on fret 7, pinky all the notes on fret 8. So here's the idea. We're going to have 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. And that is box 1 of the minor pentatonic in A minor. Okay, so here is our concept that we're going to be doing. So we're going to start by a pick, then a hammer on up to fret 8 with the pinky, then 2 hybrid pick notes. So we're going to be doing like a little bar with our pointer finger on fret 5, and then hybrid picking those. Okay, and then we're going to do a hammer on with our ring, and then let off the notes that were played with the pointer so we don't get like a chord ringing out. So that's the idea there. You can just kind of run over that a couple times. And then you can also, you know, move that around to other shapes. Okay, so that's the idea there. Now we're going to just move that through the rest of the string sets, matching the shape of the minor pentatonic. So, okay, next up we're going to have pick, but then hammer on to the ring finger, obviously to match the shape of the minor pentatonic. And then the rest of it will still be the same, so we'll have 5, 7, 5, 5, 7. Okay, now from there, what I decided to do was I didn't want this to sound, you know, too much like an exercise where I just played straight across the sets of strings and kind of, you know, continued on. So I wanted to break it up a little bit with the slide that you heard me playing in it. So that slide is basically from 7 to 9, all with the ring, then back to 7, pull off to 5, and then back to 7 on the D. So slow. Okay. Okay, so that's the idea right there. Now let's continue through the rest of the lick. Okay, so now we're up to the second half of this lick. Let me just play the first half slow one more time, just to make sure that you guys got all these notes. So starting out, here's the slide, 9, 7, pull off to 5, 7 on the D. Okay, so that's the first half. Now we're going to continue on up to the D, G, and B strings. So we're going to have 5, hammer to 7, hybrid, hybrid, and that was on the G and the B, and then hammer on to our pinky. Okay, and that pinky note is on the B string, obviously, so that's from pointer to pinky, 5 to 7 on the B. And then we're going to do that exact same shape, but on the G, B, and high E. Okay, and then from there we're going to slide with the pinky up to 10, and then back down, and then we're going to pull off to the 5th fret of the high E, excuse me. So I'll just play the whole lick up to that point. Now after we do that little part right there, we're going to go from 5 to 8 on the B, back up to 5 on the high E. Okay, so here it is, nice and slow. Okay, then I end off with this A minor 11 chord, and I'll just show you this shape quick because it's a really nice sound. 7 of the D, 5 of the G, 3 and 3 of the B, and then the E. And that is pinky, middle, and then pointer doing a double bar on the B and high E. And the root note for that is the pinky, so D minor 11, A minor 11, G minor 11. Okay, Okay, so super cool sound there with that shape. So let me play this for you guys just a couple more times a little bit quicker. Okay, so here's the lick. Okay, a little bit slower now. Okay, so that is the whole lick, and obviously that's based out of box 1 minor pentatonic, so you can move that, you know, anywhere else. Obviously there's 3 pentatonic scales for whatever key you're in, so you could move, since we're in A minor, you know, you can move that to the D minor pentatonic or the E minor pentatonic and move that around. And you can take this concept through the rest of, you know, the rest of the 4 box shapes. It does get a little more difficult if you can't do like a bar all the way across the lowest fret in the scale with your pointer, because then you're kind of going to run into a couple of fingering issues. It is still playable through the rest of the boxes if you want to, you know, work it out and see what kind of ideas you can come up with. But yeah, I really like it in that box 1. It flows really well. You know, you can get it to some pretty quick tempos fairly easily. You know, so I really like that about it. And it just kind of has like a nice kind of cascading sort of sound to it, which I really love when I'm playing licks and stuff. And I just kind of like the concept idea behind it. You know, I'm really into these kind of conceptual ideas where, you know, obviously the concept with this is pick, hammer, hybrid, and then another hammer. And that's kind of the concept. So then once you get that down, you can move it to other places on the neck. You know, you can put it into other scale shapes. And it's not just a quick lick that's like something you just, you know, play for 2 seconds and then it's done and you know, continue improvising. You know, I like these concepts that you can play for however long and continue throwing them into your improvising and kind of make them your own. And this is kind of another idea, you know, with like this box 1 here. Most guys, after they learn it and play it for a little bit and learn some blues licks and stuff, are really eager to, you know, to get away from it, which you shouldn't find yourself stuck in these boxes at all. But I think sometimes on the guitar it's easy to want to learn like too much too quickly before you really have mastery over something, if that makes sense. So like this box 1, you know, I mean, I think it's interesting to see how much music you can make with just like, you know, 1 box. And find all the different concepts you can play. You know, what if you tried to play a whole solo with box 1 just using double stops, you know, or using string skipping through the whole thing. You know, just ideas like that, or hybrid picking as we were just doing, seeing if you can find some cool little sweeping shapes in there, seeing what kind of chords you can find, even if we're doing like 3-note chords, not necessarily thinking in names of the chords, but just using this shape. Okay, all I'm doing is just playing right from the pentatonic shape right now. Okay, just kind of seeing what kind of shapes I can end up with. Okay, so you can, you know, you start ending up with some pretty cool chordal sounds within this shape. And I'm not even thinking chord names, I'm just thinking of like, you know, just visualizing that box and seeing what kind of sounds I can come up with. So I think it's always a good idea once you learn, and you know, something, even if it's simple like box 1, just to see how much music you can get out of the idea. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. I hope it was useful to all of you. And I just want to mention that next week will be the start of the next lesson series. I just want to take one more week to kind of get material prepared for the next lesson series, because we're actually going to be doing kind of a jazz guitar course, and I'm going to be starting out from like very early stages. So just kind of starting out with like people who might just be kind of starting jazz guitar. We're going to be starting out with harmony and kind of learning some really useful chord shapes, and kind of starting out with a little bit of a different approach to harmony than what a lot of guys might start out with. So we're going to be looking at that, and I'm really excited about this series of lessons, because my goal is, especially with approaching the harmony, is to get you guys able to play through jazz standards and stuff and approach harmony really quickly and get kind of a solid foundation to approach jazz standards and stuff with. So yeah, really looking forward to that series of lessons. So that'll be starting next week. And then also next month, I'm going to be starting to do Skype lessons. So if you guys are interested in that at all, contact me on YouTube. send me a private message if you want, and I can give you more details about that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. I will see you all back here next week for the start of the jazz series of lessons. And yeah, have a good one, guys.